Hello. Hey, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Hey, Billy, can you hear me? Hey, Billy, can you hear me? All right, I'm gonna. All right, Billy. I sent it to you. I sent you an invite through the text. So I'll just wait for more people to come in, and then talk about McFarlane's DC Multiverse. Is it better than Mattel? See if I can. Okay. Let me know when you're good, Billy. And then we're just gonna talk about DC Multiverse and where we stand. Kate McFarlane has been doing a great job, and I think DC. I think Mattel did with the best that they could with it. Hey, Swag, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining us. Just taking a look at some DC Multiverse that I picked up to build a Plastic Man Build a Wave. Just comparing Mattel to DC. What did Billy say? Right button. Which right button, Billy? Share. So, a swag. Yeah, that's the Plastic Man build a figure wave. I think McFarlane did a pretty good job, and then on top of that, oops, my bad. He added accessories, and if you remember, the only Plastic Man we got was from DC Collectibles. Um, that was more of a statuesque type of figure, more statue-like figure, and then we got one from Mattel, but it was a San Diego exclusive. And so now, um, I was kind of surprised when this was first announced. I thought it was going to be part of a wave, and it would be a different, Plastic Man would not be the Build a Figure wave, would not be the Build a Figure. But it turned out that Plastic Man was a Build a Figure. McFarlane pulled it off, because usually we think of Build a Figures as something bigger. Jelly Man. Hold on, I'm sending it again. Yeah. Hey, Billy A. Swag, you think you're going to pick this up? What's up, Fat Man Comics? Are you gonna? We're talking about this Plastic Man build a figure wave, and we were just talking. Do you think McFarlane right now is doing it better than Mattel, or do you think that it's the other way around? Mattel did a better job. I think no, yes. So, Fat Man Comics, you think McFarlane's doing a better job? And Swag, are you saying yes to McFarlane? Mattel is doing a better job. Well, do you think when Mattel had a 50-50? I hear you, Swag. Do you think when Mattel had the DC license that they did a better job? 50-50, I like that. What do y'all think about this John Stewart? I haven't seen a John Stewart um, with this fro since DC Collectibles and Mattel released that Green Lantern, I want to say 6-pack. That was the only one that had Guy Gardner in it. Um, Fatman Comics says, I honestly don't own any DC from Mattel that I'm aware of, but Motu Origin is the greatest, and so are Mattel wrestlers. Yeah, I agree. Um, I would say that Mattel, when it comes to, yeah, Mattel had a great wave with the DC universe when they had them going up against the Master of Universe line, and then I thought towards the end they started fizzling out. The quality um, just went down, and I don't know if it was a dispute with Warner Brothers, but yeah, Mattel, when it comes to their Motu in wrestling figures, they're on point. Yeah, it was giving me a hard time. I'm trying to figure this out, Billy. What did you do, Billy? Yeah, swag collecting concurs with Fat Man Comics. If you don't know, anybody that's joining the live, swag collecting and Billy M Bam Collectibles, aka Bam Collectibles, have a YouTube channel. Go ahead and check that out. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I like this Batman. It's a repaint, but I like it. And I'll tell you why. The black and yellow just pops for me. When I see Batman, this is what I think of. And then it's like a husky, like, built, swole like Batman. It's not like a slender Batman. So does this work for y'all? Yeah, yeah, I hear you on the repaints. And I think um I agree with y'all on the repaints, but I think that's how excuse me, he keeps costs down. If you look at this DC multiverse figure, they gave us a lot of obscure or not well known characters where McFarlane does pump out a lot of Batmans. He's pulling a rifle. Oh, I fell with the toys. It was an option. How do I fix that option, Billy? Yeah, repaint of the Dark Knight Returns. Yeah, Superman. Too many. Yeah, too many repaints. I think the collectors really go crazy when he gives us something other than Batman or Superman. He did a great job with this Aquaman. It doesn't have the side eyes and the black and that neon green just definitely makes it pop. I would have liked it if the scales were sculpted like the armor. One thing I can say about McFarlane, he definitely pays detail. You can see where this is has the battle worn and chip on it. He keep costs down. Some of those figures are like $30. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, yes, it is. I gotten out of hand. I would say with the Infinite Crisis on Infinite Earths figures, yeah, that $30 figure, yeah, I didn't, and it was exclusive. So I don't even know how to make a case for that. If you figure it's an exclusive and it's on McFarlane's website and that's the only place you could get it, I would think that would manage the cost of distribution, or is it the opposite? Yeah, I do agree. Um, he is more about sculpting than articulation. That's where the artist side of McFarlane comes out. So I definitely agree. Frankly, I really don't see the value platinum figs he issues. Some of them, I would say, it's just that minor detail, like the mosaic Green Lantern, John Stewart, right? I haven't seen that since the Mattel line. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from. But I would say as a collector, I like having those two versions because I have the comic books. So it all depends. Now, if it's a crappy like repaint like that Doctor Fate, like yeah, the platinum edition one, I did not see what the difference was. He released a superpower line and took away the play feature from the original line. Right, right. And with that, I could honestly say he's not the only one that did that. Mattel paid homage to the original figures, the Motu figures, like King Hiss. You were able to press his head, and he had that spray. He could spray out. Mechanic Nick was able to pop up. So what Mattel did at least is they gave you the replaced head that stretches out. And the Thunder Punch He-Man, they didn't give you the caps that it doesn't actually pop with the cap on it, but they gave it to you just as a a nod to the actual figure. Fat Man is so disappointed. Yeah. Where's Billy at? Billy. Um, trying to invite people. Hey Billy, I need your help on this one. Um, checking his push-ups. That rule. Um, what did y'all think of this Superman? Yes, yes. Matter of fact, I have that He-Man. Give me a second. Oh, all right. You're on timeout, man. Uh, uh, put you somewhere else. Let me get that He-Man for y'all. This is this is not the Thunder Punch. Yeah. All right, Billy. I was trying to figure out what you did so I could get you on here. Yeah, gentlemen, trying to see what how to get everybody on here. Or Billy, switch off. Yeah, I why are you disappointed with the black actors? I think Masterverse has been doing a great job. Yeah, the figure swaps. Yeah, definitely. Just putting a twist on them. Um, I wanted to create the Shazam core as well as the Black Adam core. Kind of like how there's different Green Lanterns, and actually, if you think about it, Shazam gave all of his brothers, all of his siblings powers. So I figured Black Adam could do the same. So this is where that idea came from. When you Yeah, I did. I did everything. Okay, how do I go and check without disrupting the live? Billy, get me that answer, please. Masterverse is great, but badly done. Yeah, I think that goes back to rushing the product, trying to put it out there. Since Mattel haven't done it in a while, I think when they tried to put it out there, um, they had to. You essentially when you start a line back over, you're gonna have some bumps along the way, and I think Mattel realized that they had to drop some licenses such as DC Universe to focus on the IPs that they do own. But their Barbie dolls are always on point. As good as Sunman looks in Masterverse, he's badly done. Yes, I agree. I agree 100%. Like a big headed kid. But yeah, I agree 100%. That 3 pack, I watch it go on sale and just sat there and collected dust at Target. Big head. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. I don't have any origins because I don't know. I felt like when I was coming up, the He-Man figures that we had that waist. You swing it back, and that was like the action, that swing back action. And all the bodies were the same. The underwear was the same. It was just the heads. But and what did Fat Man Comics say? And then they did the trio. Trio. Yeah, yeah. Baby kid. So I collected stupid. Yeah, yeah. Hey Billy, what's your favorite Motu? What's your favorite Master Universe character? Yeah, the pullback punch. Yes, yes, and this is where I feel companies lose that flavor because if the Masterverse they could pay homage to that Thunder Punch He Man, they could definitely put it in the Origin one. I didn't think about that, and it seems like with Spawn McFarlane, Spawn, his 7-inch figures are um they have better articulation, but they don't have the sculpt of the 90s. Yeah, yeah, Fat Man Comics, they updated them, they gave them articulation. Yeah. Swag Collecting says the worst. I have bought the Battle Cat and then the He Man, and he couldn't even sit on Battle Cat. Yeah, that sucks. At least McFarlane, he tells you what Batman goes with what vehicle. And I like the fact that McFarlane is going to a doing a cloth cape, which as he introduced vehicles, the figures are gonna have a better time getting in those vehicles. I think that started with that Batman, that '89 Batman in the Batmobile, and even that Ben Affleck motorcycle from the Flash movie. Terrible movie, by the way. I wish they would do more cloth capes. Yeah, yeah. The way McFarlane does it is that it's seamless. I love this. Drapes over. And now if he could give us some bendy wire. So now I know he's capable of giving us quality. I'm not gonna settle. Yeah, I'm not gonna settle. Yeah. The flight stands, I don't know if you guys have the problem. McFarlane flight stands, after a while, the clamps get loose and the figures just look like they're hanging on for dear life. I don't know if anybody else. Um, yeah, I agree with slide collecting. Yep. Well, yeah, now they're gonna have to, because what most companies do, they follow suit. They see what's hot. Unfortunately, they don't listen to the collectors. They listen to the sales. They look at the sales, and if cloth capes are what's selling, then that's what they're probably gonna start going to, and find a reason to hike up the price. Like Mattel, right? I mean Hasbro. Hasbro was giving us cloth capes, but why can't you get it on? If you could do it on an 8-inch figure, why can't you do it on a Marvel Legend? And I really like these Sigma 6 GI Joes. You got a lot of weapons. You got a lot of accessories, right? And now you can't even get a bio on the back of the box. You know? Yeah. So do you think a company like Super Seven can break the mold, or do you think eventually they'll just fall into the same pattern? Yep. Yep. I was so used to the GI Joes with the O rings. It gave you their fighting skills, their intelligence, even Transformers. It had their bio, their real name, their code name, with their rank. Now you don't even get that. Yeah, the old art. And so the code names, I was reading, Hasbro did not use the GI Joe code names in so long that if somebody was using, they could sue them. So they had to put General Hawk's real name and his call sign or his nickname was like General Hawk. Aberdeen, Abernathy, uh, uh, Hawk something, General Abbott. So yeah, Bam says McFarlane figures are going to go up in prices. That's why I want to buy the Spawn fig. Yeah, especially since they're re-releasing some of the later series started to die off in the 90s. Yeah, yeah. The 90s McFarlane figures had some outstanding sculpts. Like their Spawn figures with their capes, the guns. It's just that it had very, very limited articulation. McFarlane was he was producing more statues than figures, but since there were some dope looking figures and statues, they were being bought up, and that was one of the things that made McFarlane um, successful. He had the sports line also. And Swag Collecting said, especially since they're re-releasing 90. Yep. I don't think anything being released now will really have much value like the 80s toys. I could be wrong. Well, Swag Collecting, I would say there's a couple of McFarlane figures I could see holding that Bane figure he released. That's a hard to find. That gray Catwoman, um, that Flashpoint Batman, that Grim Knight, and that 1000 Superman, which nobody paid attention to, and all of a sudden it just shot up in price like a couple of years later. Overproduction. Well, it's crazy. We talk about overproduction, and yet certain figures we can hardly find. Yeah, I agree with Toy Fanatic. Give it 20 years. I think within that 20 years, the younger generation that probably couldn't afford all of it, when they become adults, they'll become the new collectors. And then, yeah, I agree. See, about 20 years. Uh, Billy says Mattel is the new king soon. Mattel will always be on top because Mattel has Hot Wheel, Matchbox, Barbie. Barbie will always sell, always. Some toy companies have things that are like staples. Like Hasbro has Monopoly, Hasbro has GI Joe, Hasbro has Transformers. And I do think when you have toy companies that are so big and they take on different IPs, I think taking on those IPs, you tend to dilute the work that you put out. For example, this this Solomon Grundy right here, this was sculpted by the Four Horsemen. This today will run you anywhere from 150 to 300. And you compare it to a McFarlane figure, this thing towers over it. Look at the sculpt, the details. This is a honk like zombie. So, Mattel, I believe when Mattel first got the line, they had good intentions, and then it just got diluted somewhere down the line. Billy says, in the beginning, I don't. I probably, I probably didn't, Billy. You know what happened? I think going back and getting kicked out and then putting the information, I probably missed that part. Um, my bad, Billy. Yeah, you like that Solomon Grundy, Billy? Yeah. Um, it wasn't it wasn't a popular character, but I think after Justice League and Limited, Heart Girl killed her. It really grew in popularity, and it just became a sought after build a figure. So was Gentleman Ghost, which has the gigantic build a figure in that. And I think back at Kmart, Walmart, KB Toy Store, these figures, these DC Multiverse figures, were going for like $10. Now they're in the 90s. Ghost Gentleman, that figure's so rare. Excuse me, it's going for $200 on eBay. So if it didn't pick up that option, Billy, from the beginning, how do I do that now? Baller status? Nah. I lucked out. I had a friend that was downsizing. All right. So when you say restart, it just start all over again. I got five in the chat. Thanks, swag. Yeah, I did, Billy. And I think what happened was it froze up and it erased everything. Remember, I had to go back and put everything. Yeah. Hey guys, if I restart this, guys, just stand by. I'm gonna go ahead and restart this. All right, guys.